They broke the internet, bro. Malaysia broke the internet. But why are you constantly getting in trouble with the Malaysian people? It's always Malaysia getting in the news for all the wrong reasons, okay? Okay, people, back again with another one. Bong Kakat reacts and news. And today is Malaysia Day, 16th of September. And I'm proud to say Malaysia is also a historic day because Malaysia made it to YouTube, okay? Malaysia made it to YouTube. Mutahar made a video about Malaysia 2 days ago.
Malaysia, for instance, that want to stop people from accessing material they consider to be harmful, okay? So this is some plan that they launched, and within like a couple days, if not a day, they had to shut it down because censoring the internet is really difficult. And
so what happened was they were trying to mess with the DNS, okay? Don't mess with the DNS. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so Malaysia does block certain websites on the common DNS. I mean, not on the common DNS, on the ISP, which is the Internet Service Provider DNS. They do block a lot of websites. However, if you just change your DNS to the Google DNS, you can access all of it. Okay, that's one thing. And even if they do this DNS block anyway, you might be able to circumvent all of that with the VPN, right? But who wants to go through all the trouble of going through a VPN, not to mention the connection is slow? But if they had gone through with this, I'm telling you, it's gonna be a clusterfuck, right? Let's see what Mutahar had to say about it.
Pointless, and we'll get into why that is. So, for instance, the MCMC from like Malaysia, this is apparently their DNS order, okay? So they were apparently doing something known as DNS redirection, which is the process of redirecting users' internet requests to a specific DNS. In their case, the ISP's local DNS. MCMC has instructed every internet service provider to implement DNS redirection to enhance online safety by preventing access to harmful websites. Are these illegal websites? No. Online gambling, which again, you can debate the legality of where you live. Porn, copyright infringement, scams, and other violations of Malaysian law. So here's the reality of it, okay? I'm just going to level it out with you. Are you scared of the big P word on the...
Okay, so what's going to happen is if you just change your DNS to Google, yes, you can circumvent. However, if they had implemented this new thing, it would mean that they would, even if you do the Google DNS, whatever, it won't make a difference. So Malaysia will have total control of the DNSs, whatever that means, right? So it's proper dictatorship-ish, bro. Yeah, that's what it is. The problem is Malaysia is not China, where we're a small nation somewhere out in the Southeast Asia. We depend on global connections. Okay.
Oh, you don't want your kids accessing it? I mean, that's understandable. Every parent does. That would involve something fucking known as parenting, okay? Figuring out parental controls is not the end of the world, okay? You literally toggle on these features, and it will now usually have a list of evil, spooky websites that will filter for you. You shouldn't be asking the government to ruin my internet because you're too fucking lazy to raise your kid, okay? Simple as that. Now, of course, when they talk about copyright infringement, people obviously downloading copyrighted materials, which is laughable at best because I'm pretty sure Malaysia does rank in one of the countries that downloads the most wildest amount of DMCA-able content.
Let's talk about this, right? Let's talk about this. Do you have any idea? Okay, piracy is rampant in Asia. I mean, nowadays, it's not much, right? Because people can afford stuff. Back in the day, nobody can afford ish. Everything was expensive. Nobody can afford an original game, original, VCD, original software. No way with our wages, right? Or with the currency. So you have no idea about the benefits of piracy, bro. That little kid who became a graphic designer, that was from piracy. The filmmakers, the people who go into media, who became, writers, film reviewers, or whatever, they are the products of piracy. There's no way in hell we're gonna afford like renting indie movies, whatever. We can't even afford the mainstream stuff. How we can't even get the indie movies in the first place, because how are we supposed to get them? There's no way that the shops are gonna carry that stuff. And the musicians, all the musicians in Malaysia, they are a product of piracy. Nobody can afford to buy 10 albums a month, bro. There's a lot of music, but nobody can afford that. So you either had to steal the cassettes or you had to, buy it from, you get me? And that's how kids became, up to date with the rest of the world. That's how kids, especially like software, that's how kids learn to, do graphic design, do whatever. All the things you can do with software or like architecture, whatever architecture design, this and that, video editing, right? There's no accessibility back in the day, bro, right? I guess it's illegal or whatever. But at the same time, why do you make it inaccessible in the first place, right? Where the common people can't afford it. So that's that to consider. That this kid can't afford it, does not deserve to use Photoshop, for example, right? Personally, it took me a while before I could afford some stuff. And even now I'm struggling because now it's all subscription based, bro. It's crazy how much they leech off the people, these corporations. Now it's a subscription based. Every single thing is subscription based, bro. If you eat a biscuit from the supermarket, in 10 years, it's probably be subscription based, bro. If you want, a Q-tip to clean your ears, in 10 years, it might be subscription based. Get 10 Q-tips a month for 10 USD a month. It's wild, bro, how inaccessible things are under a capitalist system. Okay, so the pirates are the heroes. They, the things that they give us accessibility. They give kids access to music, to art, to films. Otherwise, it just wouldn't happen. So either it doesn't happen or it happens. So it's a gray area. I don't know. Yeah, it's illegal only in the capitalist sense. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But why are you stopping, someone from accessing it? Okay, I don't know how to express myself properly, but I hope you get me.
I don't think that that's necessarily, I don't even think they're doing it to protect their own people from copyright infringement or their own companies. Scams, the internet's rife with them, okay? It's as simple as that. All right, trying to use something as broad as scams to basically, control what people in your country can access and can't access because of DNS issues. Yeah, that's draconian. That is what we call straight up censorship, ladies and gentlemen. So obviously they said this will only block illegal or harmful websites. Your access to legitimate websites and online services will remain unaffected. Yeah, when the government's allowed to pick what's legitimate and illegitimate, that's literally a small group of people at the top deciding what you can and cannot view. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I always really front load these things with telling you that illegal material for the most part is stopped. Okay, there's not some grand website on the internet where people are openly selling hitman contracts, weapons for sales, guns for hire, or illegal CSAM material. It's not happening out in the open. Okay.
Here's the thing though, we don't even know what triggered this. And also, it happens so fast. Like suddenly you're just going to do it. You're not going to consider the implications and all that. It happens so fast. You're just going to do it? Like, why? Nobody knows why. Is it really because of scams and whatever? Because I don't think they're doing enough about scams anyway. So it's just a lot of suspicion. Like once you give them this much power, what happens next, right?
So when the commission had said, yeah, it won't affect your connection speed or browsing experience for legitimate websites, a lot of people in the government had started to call out, bro, hold.
Okay, before we continue with this, I got to say, ever since they did that DNS-ish, I don't know what happened. I personally had problems browsing. Like I would do the ping, right? And the ping would be fine. 5 seconds, 6 seconds, constant ping. And then I would have problem accessing websites. They broke the internet, bro. Malaysia broke the internet. So, but then, there was backlash, of course. But is that how you're going to govern, bro? You're just going to, we're going to do this. Let's do this. And then just wait for how the people responds. And then you make a decision based on that. But the thing is, don't you have experts for this ish? Can't you do like a study and you have experts telling you, okay, this is what happens if you do this. This is what's going to happen. But anyway, let's see what happened.
Hold on, this is a little draconian. I mean, you got a bunch of people within the actual government, a lot of people actually with power here saying it's censorship, it's inefficient, and opens up further cybersecurity risks.
Malaysia is a very technology, kind of savvy country. If you do this, the technology industry is effed, bro. It's fracked bro. That's so obvious. Wasn't there some guy, some nerd in the meeting when they were gonna do this? Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. If we do this, we are fucked, bro. Malaysians love IT, information technology. What if we do this? All our technological aspirations say goodbye. Was there no nerd in the meeting? This is why you need nerds in the meeting. Nerds rule the world. Get them in the meeting. Don't have just a bunch of golf playing motherfuckers in the meeting. Get a nerd who will be like, excuse me, sir, excuse me, but if you do this, okay? And listen to the nerd. Oh, for fuck's sake, man.
So now imagine if you're a Malaysian and you're worried about the government doing this again. Maybe it's time I teach you how to switch to a more private DNS server right now. So this is one that I personally use called quad9.net.
Wait, is this a promo? So what I'm trying to tell you is, okay, so yeah, you can circumvent this whole DNS fuckery with the VPN, right? But then Malaysia can go further and start banning VPNs. That's possible. It's like a slippery slope, right? But the thing is, if you have these kind of fuckeries on your internet, cause Malaysia is not China, right? We're not China. We're not a big ass nation. Like one state in China is bigger than the whole of Malaysia, bro. There's probably provinces in China which is like a gazillion times bigger than Malaysia. They have a whole ass industry. They are pretty much. Don't even say that China can depend on itself. The whole world depends on China, bro. They are the kings of industry. We're a small nation. We depend on investments and whatever, technological investments. So when a technological investor is trying to look into Malaysia and you see you have these fuckeries on your internet, are you going to say to these investors, but actually, sir, you can circumvent with the VPN? No, that's not going to work. They're just going to avoid Malaysia completely. So they don't have to deal with this BS, bro. That's why you needed the nerd in the meeting telling you, excuse me, sir, if you do this, this is what's going to happen. Okay.
Here that they describe themselves as a DNS.
And if you think you can, if you think your whole thing is, this is to avoid scams, because that was the PR they were pushing, well, you're going to have to start banning what? Telephones. Like, it's a whole thing, bro. So we as Malaysians, we don't know what the end game is. So we're not just, no way, we're just going to allow it. Because we don't trust you, for one, right? Like, we already don't trust this guy, the minister, right? So how are we going to let you have this power?
So obviously,
is this free?
These are not just words. They're based in Switzerland. Pi-hole IP address, which I use to do network-wide access.
Yo, that's, okay, this is nice to know, but this is too technical for me.
The internet by doing the...
that's all technical stuff, right? I mean, if you're interested in, how to circumvent, stuff, yeah, just watch the video. Just
because there are bad things on the internet and just because there are adult materials on the internet doesn't mean you have to require government regulation to be the big babysitter, okay? And if the government wants to be the big babysitter, then it is literally everyone's duty, yours watching this even, to teach people to basically avoid government censorships and technologies by utilizing more open source stuff, by utilizing more stuff that is privacy focused.
Okay, so the thing is, yeah, it's more about, do we want you to have this power? We don't, okay? Because if you give yourself this power, in 5 years, you might not even be the government. And what happens in 5 years is if a more mental political party took over and Malaysia just becomes North Korea, bro, it's entirely possible. And just lock ourselves from investments and shit. Bro, no, we're not even going to think about that. Because these guys are not going to be in power forever. And we don't trust them either, okay? We're not just going to trust some guys with this power and the possibility of people worse than these guys, like the far right. These guys are already the right-wingers in the government right now, right? And there's no left wing in Malaysia, not even a liberal presence, by the way. Not even. There's no liberal presence, okay? There's no liberal presence in Malaysia's political sphere, bro. So forget about the left wing. They just don't exist. They do exist, but they are minuscule. So if, let's say, if these guys are right-wingers, you either choose between the right-wingers and the far right-wingers. So if the far right-wingers come into power and they have this power over the people, let's not even think about it. Let's check the comments. You shouldn't be asking the government to ruin my internet because you're too lazy to raise your kids. Who's even asking for this, bro? Indonesia and Malaysia both having horrible communication ministry. I mean, not gonna lie. the communication ministry of Malaysia is constantly trending for communicating BS. Like, he's always getting in trouble with the people of Malaysia. You're supposed to be the communication ministry, ministry, whatever. But why are you constantly getting in trouble with the Malaysian people? Like, now this is wild, bro. You're always starting shit. Why? Mutahar covering Malaysia is wild. This is one of the most famous guys on YouTube. No, the last time Malaysia got super famous, it was because of 1MDB. Probably the biggest money laundering and scam case in the whole world, bro. And then there was MS, you know, the plane, the airplane. But before that, it was 1MDB, considered the biggest, one of the biggest scams in the entire universe. This is small stuff, of course. Okay, this is BS, bro. The audacity to censor everything on the internet, but can't fix the government sites. Malaysian ministers value people with loyalty more than intelligence. That's true. Never in a million years would I expect Mutahar to cover news about us. Well, if he was around when 1MDB was happening, he would have definitely covered, you know, there were documentaries, books made about that. It's always Malaysia getting in the news for all the wrong reasons, okay? Malaysia has the worst PR, bro. We're not that bad, okay? We just have the worst PR. Now everybody gonna know who we are on the map. Thanks to 1MDB, the best scam, the biggest scam on earth, the biggest money laundering scam on earth, the airplanes, and this now, trying to censor the internet. But this is small stuff, okay? So anyway, let's not get too deep into this. It's nothing. It's done. It's done with. Let's hope it doesn't surface again. Let's not get too deep. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. That's all for now. Peace.
Yup.